Hey guys, Colin here. Today's the 11th day of the Dungeoneering series from Novel to End, and today I ended up doing a floor with a subscriber who was interested in giving it a shot. So this is the third floor, I believe, that we did together. And instead of automatically calling on just some friends to do it, I thought I'd do a little bit of pre-screening. So we went on to World 77 and grabbed three totally random people who were, of course, just awful. But what do you expect, right? It was great. I had a lot of fun. That's one thing. If you are used to being on World 67 or are used to doing super fast floors, go to World 77 and just key one. Like it's a little bit frustrating, but if you take one good person with you and you just go for it, it's enjoyable. There's no pressure. Like sometimes I find that I get too wound up in engineering, and it was just a nice way to unwind and just see kids' reactions when they're sitting there and you kill the boss. And at the end of the floor, this one guy was like, he cooked the entire floor, right? I probably died one or two times in the floor, and he just continually cooked. He dropped all the food outside the boss room, so he must have had stacks and stacks of raws, and he was just cooking them and dropping them as they like, because when you catch raws, they're noted, or not noted, but like stacked. So yes, he was getting full inventories and then just dropping them and then continuing to cook. And even after the boss was dead, he was sitting at the end ladder, and I was like, end the floor. And he was cooking. He lit a fire in the boss room and started cooking when the full floor was done. It was fantastic. I enjoyed it a lot. But what was really encouraging was that the floors that I keyed there were 21 and 23 minutes for full 13% occults. Like, I was shocked. I remember when I was in World 77, I would never get floors like that. So maybe I just sucked, which I definitely did. Obviously, you're going to improve for every floor you do. But the tier of like the quality of World 77 wasn't as harsh as I remember. I remember getting a sub 30 floor. It was like, ooh, fancy. But these were 21 and 23, and they weren't like spectacular people for sure. But that's besides the point. That was just a little side story. So this floor was for Dead. Dead's PM'd me and said, "Hey, I like your videos. Let's do a floor." And whenever somebody PMs me who's a subscriber, I will give them a chance. I don't care what dungeoneering level you are. It's just something to do. After this floor, I ended up dungeon with, I believe it was two other people, and they were, well, the one person was level like 50 to 50 dungeoneering or something like that. So we did floor like 25 medium or something, and it took 23 minutes. Because once again, the bosses are so overpowered at those lower levels. Before I get too off topic, let's just talk about this. We were four-man pathing here, so I'm not really sure why that was important. But like, I don't know why we ended up going four men on one door enter path. That could have been improved. And of course, I'm just doing my regular stuff, just checking my gates and running into a teammate. Oh, perfect. This person's name was CHR, Max Kit player, friend of Slash, I believe. I think Slash invited him to come. And he did a great job. He definitely knew what was going on. I'm pretty sure he's like all comp cape minus like 120 dunge. So he was well aware. I told him I was going to gate this door, and I gated it, and then we ran out of path. It was good. It was a good floor. But yeah, so this floor is for Dead, and it went pretty well. One problem that CHR and I had was that we kept running into each other, so you can tell that he's primarily a keyer. I don't know if he actually is. He's never keyed a floor for me before, but it just kind of, you just get that vibe off people. Like you can tell when they've keyed or not. And that brings us to an important point. If you are trying to get better, I would say a really good thing to do would be to try and key some floors. It's a totally different view on the dungeon it'll change the way the way you do floors. Like I don't mind if I'm keen, and I don't mind if I'm not keen. But when you are keen, you'll notice things like, hey, it would have been really cool if that guy gated the door when I asked him to, or like if if I didn't even have to ask him and he just did it. Like if he ran past Crimson Shield and he just said, I gated Crimson Shield, and then as soon as you get the Crimson Shield key, he teleports out and he opens the door. Like just little things like that. When you're doing the support role and you haven't felt it from a keyer's side, it totally changes your perspective on it. I didn't key until probably 85 Dungeoneering, I'd say. When I hit about 85 Dungeoneering, I started to do a little bit of keying, like not hardcore, because when you start out, you're going to die a lot, and your floors are going to be bad, and people are going to rage at you. But with engineering, it's all about experience, right? You can't just be magically awesome at it. It's not, it's not woodcutting where you're just going to sit there and chop away. Like, it does require some thinking and some experience. Like, you need to practice it to get better. And that's what I've been doing. Just every day, I've just been knocking off a couple floors. Quick point about this one. All you have to do is, even if you don't have the runecrafting level, you can still force them. So it was a 93 runecraft requirement or something. But if you're level 4 runecrafting, you can still force the doors or force the tiles to flip over, which was great because I had no HP and I kind of wanted to serve prod this one a little bit. Just thought I'd have something useful to post, like in terms of XP per hour and things of the sort. So back to my original point here. Yeah, if you're about 80 Dungeoneering, you're probably ready to start learning how to key. And when I hit 90 Dungeoneering, I locked out and I found leeches. Like, I had 2 or 3 leeches going at the same time, and I got 2 or 3 people. I got one person from 15 Dungeoneering to 80, and that was just fun. It was like doing Dungeoneering all over again, but being better at it. And you improve so much when you do suicide floors. Like, you just, because you're not worried about dying, so you can focus on just focus on speed and helping your team. And this is one other thing I need to stop and just totally talk about: the bookcases. If you know how to do bookcases, this is an easy door. It's really not hard to do, but if you're not good at them, you're gonna have issues. You need to look at the bookshelves on the wall, and then the books that fly between the bookcases. So I see that the red one flew on the north there, and there's the blue one, and I need the blue one in the far right, so I'm going to switch these two guys here. There you go. And then I'm going to turn it really quick so they don't like flip back or anything. And then I'm just going to wait, and okay, there's the blue one, so I'm going to lock that one in there and move into the shelf. If you want to guide on this one, because this one can be kind of confusing, you do want to clear the monsters. It just helps a little bit. Like, you don't have to worry about taking damage and whatnot. All that work for a dead end. What a drag. Anyways, so I see my whole team's in there. They're probably in a GD or something, so I'm just going to let them continue. One thing that I don't remember, it wasn't this floor, it was in another floor, but with Dead End as well. One issue we had was that it seemed like he was trying to key a little too hard, like trying to find a free gate that was just near the home teleport. And there was just no need because I was already there. And I remember we ran through the same like key door at the same time. Double gating doors. I guess that'd be the best way to put it. If you're going to gate a door, state the door you're gating and that you have it. And if there's a conflict with another player, then say, okay, just don't break it until you know for sure that that they're going to keep theirs. But you need to resolve it because having 2 gates on one door is useless. So I tell them that there's a GD south of the GGS, and hopefully they'll go do it. I think we get troll with a 1 to 5 crafting door, so that's just going to be a dead end, unless someone runs into a mage main. I don't know. Another thing that'd be useful is if you guys know, like, just a general sense of what herbs are required for what potions, because that's something you should definitely loot. Even though food isn't overly important to loot from monster drops, I'm not sure if this is confirmed or anything, but this is what I've been noticing for sure, is in the first like 10-15 doors or whatever, you'll notice like a monster will drop a Winter's Grip. And a Winter's Grip is good for like the strong gathering potions, for example. If I see that herb, you just get this feeling that you're going to run into a door like a 105 woodcutting when you need a strong gatherer's potion, right? And picking up the herb when you see it, 100% do it. Because almost every time, like, we haven't had to plant herbs in forever. Because it always seems that the monster will drop the herb you need in the floor. Now, I don't know if this is true, if anyone can confirm it, but 100%, if you see a herb being dropped that's like a mage bane or above, like the lower, like the +3 boost ones, like aloe and sageworth and feather foil and just garbage like that, you don't need to pick up. But if you run into like a mage bane or like a lycopus or like a Winter's Grip, useful to grab. This boss we have a little bit of issue with. People need to understand that when all 3 protects are up at the same time, like they are right now, he has a chance of doing a special attack. So what you have to do is you have to off time when you click the crystals. As you see here, I'm waiting until that like 2 of them are down, and then I'll pull the maiden one. So there's at the most 2 up at a time. Because if you pull them all at the same time, which kind of happens in this floor, then he can do a special, and his special will do a lot of damage. So you see here, I'm just kind of waiting. Oh, there you go. I pull it 1, 2, and then he has no protect pairs up once he pulls this right here. So you don't want him to have no protect pairs, because that means that when all the protections come back up, there's a good chance he'll do a special attack, and it's just a useless death. Like, you don't need to take it. Yeah, that's just my little rant on this boss. So thanks for watching. This floor is just finishing up now. It was a pretty easy boss to kill, and everyone did a good job. As I said, 3 people were on my friends list, and 1 were just trying out. So it's about a 20-minute floor for 80k XP, and if you do the math, that's 240k XP an hour. For floor 36, that's not too bad. Thanks for watching, guys.